Today we're talking nutrition and meal prepping. So one of the most common questions we get on a day-to-day basis is, how do you meal prep? It takes forever. What do you guys do to do it efficiently?
The methods that we're gonna show you today, it's gonna make your life super easy throughout the week. So we'll walk you through how to prep vegetables, how to do your grains, rice, how to do potatoes, and then how to prep your protein sources.
Now, you'll see with our prep style, we like to make big portions. So we're gonna make a big portion of vegetables, a big portion of protein. Today's gonna be tofu for us. A big portion of carbs like rice or potatoes like we're gonna do today. Then from there, we separate them out just when we're gonna eat. So sometimes we'll make tacos with it. Sometimes we'll put the vegetables over pasta with some marinara sauce. Sometimes we'll put it over the rice, make an Asian stir fry. So we like to keep it fun and creative, not like stale, where you're pulling Wednesday's meal out and you're bored and you're not gonna continue.
And the other thing too is your macros are gonna change depending on whether you worked out that day or whether you didn't work out that day. So this just allows you to have some more flexibility throughout the week.
Right, so let's get started.
So as far as your vegetable prep is concerned, what we're gonna be doing today, it's gonna be a mixture of celery, asparagus, green onions, parsley, zucchini, squash, peppers, some spinach, mushrooms, and onion. However, you can choose any vegetables you want. These are our staple vegetables. Of course, we'll incorporate some Brussels sprouts and beets, carrots, but we like to incorporate a wide variety of vegetables and colors so you get all the nutrients. Typically we don't prep just broccoli or just zucchini. We like to have a wide variety of the vegetables. So if you're rushed for time, you can certainly use frozen vegetables, or you can incorporate maybe a bag or two of frozen vegetables into your fresh vegetable mixture. Okay, so typically when I'm prepping vegetables, I'll have two different bowls here on the counter. I'll have one bowl where I put my vegetable remnants, the ones that I'm not gonna use, and then I have another bowl here that I put all the chopped vegetables. Now this is just to eliminate me walking back and forth to the trash can. I don't know how your kitchen is situated, but this is what I found to be easiest when doing my vegetable prep.
All right, now that you've got your big bowl of vegetables here ready to be sauteed, you need to get your seasonings in order. So, what we like to go with, we're gonna do a Southwest kind of version today. Sometimes you can do Asian or some different flavors. Today we're gonna do Southwest. So we're gonna start with some cumin, paprika, black pepper, onion powder, Italian seasoning, some chili powder, and then some garlic powder.
We recommend going with a non-stick cooking spray when you're sauteing vegetables or proteins, as opposed to using oils or butters or anything like that, because that's gonna add a lot of fat to your diet. The other thing too is we just put all of our chopped vegetables into one big bowl like this, but if you have more time or if you want to brown your onions first, go right ahead. We just do this for, time-saving efficiency purposes, but you can do it however you prefer. So next we're gonna walk you guys through how to prep your protein sources. Now, Ryan and I being plant-based, typically the protein sources that we'll prep on a weekly basis are tofu, extra firm tofu, and then we'll also do tempeh. But for today, we'll show you how to do the tofu. But if you are, not vegan, you can do this with any of your protein sources. You can do chicken, you can do lean ground turkey, whatever it is you're cooking. The same principles apply. But for the tofu, we also get a lot of questions on how to cook this. Would we bake it, saute it? So we'll walk you through how to do that today. So typically with our tofu, we bake it. So the first thing that you want to do is open the package. So this is what we do. Now it's going to be packaged in a ton of liquid, so you want to try to get as much of that liquid out before you start cooking it. So I just laid it on a folded up paper towel. What I'll do is I'll fold another paper towel and I'll just put it over top, and I squeeze as much of the liquid out of there as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's going to bake off. So then what we do is we bring it over to our baking sheet here. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this with non-stick spray, just like we used for the vegetables. And then what you wanna do is cut this into pieces. So I just keep it here on the paper towel, and then I just cut it like this. And then I just lay it out on the baking sheet. All right. And what you want to do is bake this in your oven at 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes, flipping a couple times throughout the cooking process. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and season these with the same seasonings, similar seasonings that we used for the vegetables. And what I do as far as more of a liquid to put on these, or a condiment, I'll use mustard. So let's see, and we'll do some hot sauce. So what I'll typically do is put some hot sauce. You can use any sorts of hot sauce that you want. And then I'm using here stone ground mustard, but you can use yellow mustard, you can use Dijon mustard, whatever you prefer. So I'm just gonna take this and put some on here. And then here's where you get a little dirty. So to move this, to spread this around, make sure it's evenly coated, I just use my hands. So I'll just try to evenly coat each one of these pieces. Rinse off my hands. Grab my paper towel over here. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place this in the oven, which has already been preheated at 425, again for 20 to 25 minutes, flipping periodically as you go.
So after about 5 to 10 minutes, after you've stirred this a handful of times, it should be pretty much cooked all the way through. You're gonna add your green leafy vegetables. So today we're gonna use spinach. Sometimes we use kale, arugula, different things like that. So you just add it right to the top. And mix it up and give it about another 3 to 5 minutes or so, and you'll be set to put it in your Tupperware to store.
So now I'm gonna walk you through how to prep some of your carbs for the week. So for today, we're gonna do sweet potatoes and rice, but you can do any carbs you want. If you wanna do white potatoes, if you wanna do white rice, you can do lentils, quinoa, whatever you prefer. But we'll start with the sweet potatoes. So typically what I do is I'll just cut off the ends, super simple, set them aside, and then I'll just cut them into slices. Okay, and then the big pieces I'll just cut another time, either in half or into quarters. The pan has already been sprayed with our non-stick spray. And again, guys, these don't have to be perfect. All right, and now typically for seasonings, what I'll use is the hot sauce again, just like we did with the tofu. And then I'll also do black pepper, onion powder, and I'll put some cinnamon on here, along with an organic stevia packet. So I'm just gonna chop this other one up. Now we're also big on weighing and measuring all your food portions. So what happens is when these are finished cooking, we'll put them in a Tupperware container, and then as we eat them throughout the week, whether it be lunch, dinner, snacks, whatever, we'll weigh them accordingly, depending on what our macros call for that day. Now we'll go ahead and put the seasoning on. So again, I'll just put some hot sauce on it like this, get it nice and coated. And then I'll go ahead and take the organic stevia packet. This is the only sweetener that we use here. Occasionally we'll use agave, but this is our primary sweetener that we'll use. Okay, so we'll just put that on there like that. Set that aside. Now I'm gonna go into sprinkle some cinnamon on here. I know it might sound weird, the flavor combinations, but they come together and they work. Okay, we'll just sprinkle that on there. And then we'll go here, do some onion powder. And then last but not least, we'll do the black pepper. All right, then again, I don't feel like stirring these with a spoon, so I'm just gonna take my hands, move everything around, get everything nice and evenly coated. Now the great thing with the potatoes is you can just stick them in the oven with your tofu. They both can cook at 425. These again are gonna take anywhere from like 22 to 25 minutes, and you wanna stir them periodically just to make sure that, you know, they get nice and cooked. But they can go in there at the same time, you know, for efficiency purposes. So now halfway through the cooking process on the tofu, since we put that in first, we're gonna wanna take them out of the oven with your oven mitt, safety first. And then what I do is I just use the vegetable spoon because why not? It's all going in the same place anyway. And you just wanna flip these over the best you can and have them get browned on the other side. And depending on how many people you're meal prepping for or how much food you wanna make, you can do 2 packages of tofu. That's typically what we'll do. We'll do 2 packages of tofu and then a package of tempeh. So whatever protein you're gonna be eating for that week. So we just put these back in the oven with our potatoes. And once they get more brown, we'll take them out and should be ready to go.
So while everything's finishing up in the oven, we'll get our rice going. And since there's 2 of us, we typically like to get 4 cups of cooked rice. So what we'll do is we'll go 2 cups of the dry rice, and then we'll put 4 cups of water into it. We'll bring it to a boil, cover, turn it down to simmer, and let it cook until the water's out about 15 to 20 minutes.
So now that we have all the food cooked and ready to go, what we're gonna do is store them here in our microwave safe containers. You can get any sort of Tupperware container. These are from Amazon. Anything will work. You can go to the dollar store to get Tupperware containers, but you wanna get a variety of sizes to fit whatever it is that you're cooking. So we're gonna store these separately. So Ryan's gonna put all the vegetables into 1 Tupperware. And depending on how much you're prepping, you can freeze some of these too. So you can pull them out, eat later in the week, just again to save you some time. Or you can just store them all in the refrigerator. But if you're weird with leftovers, if you don't like them, then that's where the freezer option would come into play. After the pans and the foil has cooled, what you can do is take a spoon and spoon them into the Tupperware, or honestly, you can just grab the foil and pour them in, like so. Okay, so the potatoes get their own container. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the rice and the tofu. So we'll set this aside. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab the same spoon that we used for the vegetables. Again, why dirty more utensils if we don't need to? So I'm just gonna spoon the rice into the Tupperware. Now typically we'll spread the rice out into 2 of these black Tupperware containers. We'll stick 1 in the refrigerator and then we'll put 1 in the freezer. And then we usually pull that one out about midweek or so.
Measuring your food is super important to make sure that you're accurate with your macros, because that really is the building block to your plan. So this is how we do it when we go to make our meals throughout the week.
So this is just, again, another super simple food scale that you can buy off of Amazon. They sell them at Target, really anywhere you shop. Really inexpensive, and honestly, you should be using this every single day for every single one of your meals, especially when you're measuring fats, peanut butters, oils, because an excess in fat in your diet is really gonna throw off your macros and could inhibit you, from reaching your goals in the time amount that you want to reach them. So weighing and measuring your food is super, super important. So as we, make our meals and assemble these things during the week, we'll, portion out the amount that we need. We'll measure it here and then go from there. So you can also use measuring spoons. They work too. Measuring cups, just anything that you can use to measure. You can use ounces and grams on here. See more videos like this, please let us know. We are here, we are happy to help you. We also do custom meal plans, so if you're not sure what you should be eating throughout the course of the day or how many macros you should be eating, just let us know. And we are here. We're happy to help you reach your goals.
Go to strongergreen.com to get more information.
Thank you guys
Thanks.
so much.
Bye.